Ashwan, when you go live, which we are,
No.
I don't swear. All right, Shalom. Alright. So just a small blue one. Yeah, see. Alright, if you can hear me online, give me a con, give me a one. There's something to let me know that you can hear me. Give me a con, give me a one. Just let me know that you can hear me. Then we'll start the class. Yeah, Charles. Alright. So yeah, this is the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA. And then, at the UPK, we teach that according to the Bible and history, that the black man is the real Jew. You know what I mean? And there's many verses in the Bible and there's history also to show that as well. And the reason why we're in this condition, it's like or this situation that we are in, is for not keeping God's laws, man. In this Bible that everyone reads, this Bible ain't just a book of psalms and singing and tambourines. This Bible is a manual that God gave to the Israelites, and He said, if you keep these laws, you're going to be on high, and if you don't, we're going to punish us. We're going to be cursed. And what we're living through right now is the curse for not serving the Lord, for not being obedient and keeping His commandments. And at the UPK, we have the answers. Many of us always wonder, why us? Why are black people dying? Why are we suffering? And we have the answers. Not like your church that has no answers. Not like your mosque that has no answers. Not like your Pan-Africanism meetings where there's no answers. At the I.S.U.P.K, we have answers to fix the ghettos, to fix Handsworth, to fix Moss Side, to fix Oxter, to fix, wherever we are, man, wherever we are dying and suffering, we have the answers. So, man, with that being said, just a few announcements. Do remember to pay your tithes. Your tithes are 10% of anything you earn, man. You know what I mean? So if you was to earn £100, £10 would be 10%, right. And that will go to the priests and the prophets of the Lord, man. And also in the UK, we have a school in Birmingham. The address is 394 Lodge Road, postcode B18 5PW. You know what I mean? We teach classes here 3 times a week. Monday is a history class, which is being done right now. Then you got Wednesday, which is a law class, which is done by Officer Dumgabar. Then on the Thursday, you got the script down class done by myself, Officer Parasha. You know what I mean? Also, the Monday class is usually done by Officer Karafia. And all the classes in the UK are at the same time, 7 o'clock till 9, 7 o'clock in the afternoon till 9. So, you know what I mean? If you're in the Birmingham area, it behooves you to come through these doors, man. This is the place where your life is going to be saved. You can't get it saved in the church. You can't get it saved in the mosque. You can't get it saved in Egyptology, but in here, you can, man. Right. And if you're all over the UK and you can't make it here, then guess what? You can watch it online and you can put down your name for attendance. And when you do your 90 days, you'll get your name. And you know what I mean? If you want to become a trooper in the school, you can do that too, man. The YouTube channel is I.S.U.P.K United Kingdom. And you know what I mean? You can log in there on the times that we have the classes. And also we got videos of us at camp and the previous classes we have done before also as well. So, you know what I mean? And with that being said, let's get into it, man. Today's history class is the Carnival. Right now, as we speak, in Notting Hill, which is West London, is a carnival. And many people, what do they think? That the carnival's a black thing. The carnival's just, you know what I mean? It's a West Indian thing. And in class today, you're gonna learn that Carnival isn't for black people, man.
Right.
The origins of Carnival got nothing to do with Trinidad, nothing to do with Jamaica, nothing to do with the West Indies. And you're gonna find out we're following the oppressor, even in something you think is not white related. Yes, it is, man. You know what I mean? So at the UPK, we're here to show you the truth, and also too, if you take part in this day, you hate the Lord, man. If you take part in this day, you are partaking in the worship of another God. And of course, this being the history class, we're going to get into that too. So if you could, out of the Wikipedia, something that's nice, easy, and accessible for everyone, Wikipedia, type in Carnival origin. So first, I'm going to show you that the Carnival ain't even of a Caribbean origin. And also, in your own time, you can look it up. All over the world, people have a Carnival as well. Just that the problem that we have is because we are, I wouldn't want to say an outcast, but because we live in an environment where we're just among each other, we naturally think, well, Carnival's black. But outside, if you look at the whole earth, in some way, shape, or form, everyone has a Carnival as well, showing you that it's not just a West Indian thing. It's not just a black thing. You got it for me.
Carnival is a Western Christian festive season.
It's a what?
Western Christian festive season.
So automatically, this is Wikipedia. You know what I mean? This is online, and the Carnival is not a Jamaican thing. You know what I mean? Did it say it's a West Indian thing? Did it say it's a Jamaican thing? Did it say it's a Trinidadian thing? So Carnival is a Western Christian festive season. Read on.
That occurs before liturgical season of Lent.
So now, why does this feast or the Carnival come before Lent? First off, does anyone know what Lent even is?
Lent means you put down a certain amount of food. Like fast really fast for food altogether. Lent means you put down just meat or something like that. Put down water.
That's right. So Lent is like a fast from one specific thing. Now, what you're gonna understand as we get through the class is that the reason why people did Carnival was because after it was Lent, so they would do what they want, have swingers, orgies, eat and do what they want. And then afterwards, get ready for Lent, where they would restrict themselves from doing what they want. And that is the origins of the Carnival right there. It was a day where you did what you want, had sex with who you liked, danced, drank, got drunk, ate what you wanted. And then in Western Christianity, after the Carnival, so-called, you would do Lent. Then you would restrain yourself from what you wanted to do. And that's the origins of it. Read on.
The main events typically occur during February or early March, during the period historically known as Shrovetide or pre-Lent.
And there you go. So really, with the so-called Carnival we have today, it was called pre-Lent, meaning before Lent. So before you had your fast or stopped having something you desire, you had a pre-Lent where you did whatever you wanted. You had orgies, you ate what you wanted, drank how much you wanted, did any sinful thing you wanted. Before, in the eyes of a Christian, you had this holy day where you had Lent and you was holy and devout, and you know what I mean? You had your fast. But before that, they would get it all out of them so that when Lent came, they desired not to do it. Read on.
Carnival typically involves public celebrations, including events such as including events such as parades.
And hang on, you're telling me that this has nothing to do with the Carnival you see today? It says, including such events as parades. And what do you see? Those floats going back and forth, man, and people dance on it, and people walking to the carnival. That's a parade right there, man. And this is the origins of it here, and it's got nothing to do with Jamaica. Right. It's got nothing to do with the West Indies, man. Got nothing to do with Grenada, Antigua, Trinidad, Montserrat, Brazil. It's got nothing to do with none of that, man. It's of a European origin, got nothing to do with us. And what do we think? You know, carnival's our thing, man. And even now, if you look at the carnivals now, black people ain't even hardly there. It's full of white people, right, full of Indians, right, full of, you know what I mean, Eastern Europeans, the Polish, Czechoslovakian, Ukrainian, you know what I mean? Which even now, the carnival is not even a black thing. It's just a fun event. Read on.
Public street parties and other entertainment.
And what?
Public street parties.
And there you go, man. You know what I mean? In the carnivals, you go to now, you got one people playing sound over here, one people playing their sound over there. And this is the origins of it, man. It's nothing new. You think, you know, well, you know, we do this, but guess what? It's origins. You know what I mean? It pre-exists what you do in Jamaica. It pre-exists what we do in the West Indies. This has a origin, read on.
And other entertainments.
And we're going to get into that, man. What other entertainments, which is going to answer a lot of what you see in the carnival today. What other entertainments were going on? What other entertainments were happening? And we're going to get into that later on. Read on.
Combining some elements of a circus.
Of what?
Of a circus.
Of a circus. At the carnival, that's what it is, a circus, man. When you see this man wearing this ridiculous outfit, that's a circus, man. When you see the woman wearing those things coming out of her, like, what's that? Like a peacock. That's a circus, man. That's a circus act. You are dressing like you're in a circus, man. And the origins are found right here. Nothing of it is Israelite heritage, man. Nothing of it is West Indian heritage. All of it was given to you by white Christians. Right. And that's the truth, man. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, this is the origins of the carnival. Read on.
Elaborate costumes and masks allow people to set aside their everyday individuality and experience a heightened sense of social unity. Participants often indulge in excessive consumption of alcohol. And you're telling me we don't see that now? At the carnival, people drink galore, man. I was in West London on the weekend. Now, of course, I was not at the carnival, but where I was is where everyone meets to go to the carnival. And believe me, all the empty lager cans, all of the vodka bottles that they left behind was ridiculous, man. And that's what you get right there. Excessive consumption of alcohol, man. All what they left as they went to the carnival was ridiculous, man. Every bin, it is. Inside the bin was full of alcoholic drinks. And even on top of the bin, meaning people just left in there. And that bin was packed full of alcoholic drinks, man. All over the floor. And the consumption of alcohol, just like what it said in the Wikipedia, it still happens today. Read on. Meat and other foods that will be foregone during upcoming Lent.
And there, so hang on now. They will do all this before Lent. So they thought, you know, before I restrict myself from doing what I want to do, we're going to have a feast where I do everything I want to do, where I drink as much as I want, eat as much as I want. Read on.
Traditionally, butter, milk, and other animal products were not consumed excessively. Rather, their stock was fully consumed as reduced waste. Pancakes, donuts, and other desserts were prepared and eaten for a final time. During Lent, animal products are no longer eaten, and individuals have the ability to give up a certain object, active or desire.
All right. So now, the whole point of the carnival was that before Lent, where, you know, you don't eat meat or whatever the case may be, You have a day where you do it as much as you like. And that's how you know how weak they are. If you're going to give up something, wouldn't you do it the right way? What they're doing is, before they have to give it up, they're doing it as much as they want, so that when they have to give it up for a certain amount of time, they don't really feel the urge to have it because they already done it. You know what I mean? While in the Bible, you fight your flesh. You don't do it even when you want to do it. You don't have a day where you go, you know what? I'm going to smoke all the weed I want and then one day just not smoke for a week. You do it to the day that you die, man. But with them, you know what I mean? Because they didn't want to do it, they had a day where the got it all out of them. Any more on that?
The term carnival is traditionally used in the area of the large Catholic presence.
When?
The large Catholic presence.
So meaning, even the definition of the word is a Catholic word, which we know the Catholics spoke Latin. So even the origin of the word carnival is a Latin word, nothing to do with Jamaica, nothing to do with Trinidad, nothing to do with Antigua or Grenada, nothing to do with the West Indies, man. Even the word of the feast has a Latin origin from the Catholic Church. Read that, sir.
As well as in Greece, in historically evangelic Lutheran countries, the celebration is known as festival, and in areas with high concentration of Anglicans, Methodists, and other Protestants, pre-Lenten celebrations.
And imagine that. So here's something that you don't know. You know what I mean? In the ghettos, what do we tend to think that it's a black thing, man? Carnivals, you know, it's a Jamaican day, or it's a, you know what I mean, a West Indian day. And look at this. In some form or shape all over the earth, a carnival's being held, man. Whether it's a carnival, whether it's a festival, whether it's a pre-Lenten day, it's being held all over the world. Carnival is not a black thing, man.
Right.
You gotta start lying to yourself. You know, you're on the carnival, you see people with the Jamaican flag proud, like, and also, why would you be proud of a day like that? Why would you be proud of a day where there's hoes walking about half naked, man? You know what I mean? Everyone's drinking, smoking weed. What's there to be proud about that, man? Walking with your flag like, you know, this is our day, and look at what you're doing on your day. Abominations, man. Read on.
In penitential observances occur on Shrove Tuesday or Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. So even in America, well, even though that's of a Latin origin as well, the feast of Mardi Gras, that's also a form of a carnival as well, man. That's what the Spanish used to call theirs. So is this a black thing? No, it's not, man. This is a white European thing, man. And that's something we gotta get out of, man. In your mind, you think, carnival's black, man. You know what I mean? And no, it's not. You learned it from the oppressor. Give me Proverbs 3 and the 31st verse.
The word is said to come from the pre-Latin expression carne or carnival.
And there, so it's Latin, as I said, with the Catholic Church, you know, that's in Rome, and the Romans spoke the Latin language. And even on the etymology, it's letting you know that the Latin derived name of the holiday is sometimes spelled Carnival, read on.
Which means remove meat. It derives from carnival, farewell to meat. Which, the word carn may be translated to flesh, producing farewell to flesh, a phrase embraced by certain carnival celebrants to embolden the festival carefree spirit.
Okay, so now, depending on the etymology of the word, it can literally mean meat or like your fleshlight. It's a feast where, you know, you give into yourself. And it's like, and it's basically like a farewell, meaning, you know what I mean? It's a feast where anything goes. It is carefree. Read on. There's a Tacticus part that he wrote about it when he saw it. I believe it's the origin. Well, with Tacticus, yeah, that's the one there.
These were, despite some appearances, Christian in character, and they were medieval in origin. Although it has been widely supposed that they continued, some are pre-Christian cults.
So now it's letting you know that even before the medieval times, a form of carnival was going on, man, and we got it in the Bible too, man. What you see, you know what I mean, was something that the Romans did, the Greeks did, and we're gonna get that in the Bible too, man. Read on.
There is in fact no evidence that they existed before 1200s. The word carnival is of Christian origin, and in the Middle Ages it referred to a period of following Epiphany season that reached its climax before midnight on Shrove Tuesday.
So okay, with the word epiphany, it's like the word epiphany, I had it in a dictionary. It's like, if you can look at the word epiphany for me. It's like something that hits you or something that comes in your mind, but just to be 100% sure on that.
Epiphany, a moment of sudden and great revelation or realization.
That's it. So it's a moment of realization. So with this feast, it's like, you know what, we can do what we like. So whatever came to your mind, you could do. Read on.
Because Lent was a period of fasting, Carnival therefore represented a last period of feasting and celebration before the spiritual rigor of Lent.
So now, with the Carnival, as I said before, and this is saying it too, it was done so that whatever you wanted to do, you could do it. And then before Lent came, where, you know, you didn't eat certain meats, you restrained yourself from doing things that you don't want to do. You know what I mean? You had a feast day where you did it all, man. You did it with no limits. Read on.
Meat was plentiful during this part of the Christian calendar, and it was consumed during Carnival as people abstained from meat consumption during the following liturgical season of Lent. In the last few days of the Carnival, known as Shrovetide, people confess, strive their sins in preparation for Lent as well.
They confess the sins. They're like, listen, I've done this and that, and then they prepared for Lent. There's a part where the historian Tacticus wrote. It's in the history. Scroll down.
Tacticus wrote in his Germania 9 and 6.
Yeah, there's the English part.
The Germans, however, do not consider it consistent with the grandeur of celestial beings to confine in gods within walls, or to liken them to the form of any human countenance. Traditionally, the feast, was a time to indulge in sexual desires.
And there you have it, man. So really, yes, people ate and drank, but it was a feast of sexual desires, man. And what do you see now in any carnival? Women walking around damn near naked, man. Why? For sexual desires, man. Now, back then, they literally had sex on the streets. Now, of course, in any country, in any law, that is a arrestable offense. So what do you see now? Women walking around naked, damn near, you know what I mean, wearing next to nothing, man. You got some?
I know a person that go carnival just for wine. Just to get wine, see how much wine they can get, man. You know,
that's right.
Wine.
Imagine this. You got some people that live here in the Midlands driving out to London just to get a wine off a woman, man. It's like, you see a woman there? I gotta get a wine off this one and that one. Now, of course, they don't have sex on the streets now, but all that daggering, all that stuff there, that is the next best thing. So while literally back then people had sex on the streets, now people have, you know, like the daggering, the women basically walking around naked. You're not doing it to the full extent they did it back then, but you are still partaking in it now, man. Read up.
which were supposed to be suppressed during the following period fasting.
So now, when they had to fast, they had to suppress that, meaning they would not do it. So the carnival was a feast for their sexual desires or the alcohol. And then when it came for Lent, they would restrict themselves. So it was like a binge day, a day where you could binge and do what you want. Read on.
Before Lent began, all rich food and drink were consumed in what became a giant celebration that involved a whole community and is thought to be the origin of Carnival.
And imagine that it says it involved a whole community. That's why it was so big. Just like Carnival now, man. It involves London, people from Birmingham, people from Leeds, people from Manchester. And guess what? Its origins ain't Jamaican at all, man. Its origins ain't from the West Indies at all, man. And that's the problem. While we blindly follow Carnival thinking it's black, thinking, you know what I mean? This is our day. This got something to do with Jamaica. No, it hasn't, man. This is a Christian and a Asian origin that's got nothing to do with the Israelites. Nothing to do with Jamaica at all, man. You know what? Give me 2 Maccabees 6:1. Oh yes, we'll bring that as well. Oh yeah, let's grab that. So yeah, off the back of that, they're talking about Lent, how you can't eat meat on this day. Let's see what the Bible says about that, man. That's right, yeah.
So 1 Timothy 4:1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith.
So now he's letting you know, in the latter times, meaning the later days, some people shall depart from the faith. What's the faith? The I.S.U.P.K, man. You know what I mean? Knowing the truth, knowing the Jews are black, knowing the laws, the statutes, the commandments. You know what I mean? Read on.
Giving heed to seducing spirits.
And that's the problem. They give heed to a seducing spirit, meaning someone told them something and it seduced them. They're like, you know what? Yeah, that's right, man. The Bible did say that. They've been seduced. Read on.
And doctrines of devils.
And doctrines of what?
And doctrines of devils.
And the white man's the devil, man. And when you follow Carnival, that's his doctrine about not eating meat and, you know, Lent. Where's Lent in the Bible, man?
Right.
You know what I mean? What do they call it? There was the Carnival and there was festival. You know what I mean? Where are these things in the Bible? It's nowhere in the Bible. You wonder why? Because you're following the devil, man. Right. And that's his doctrine. Read on.
Speaking lies in hypocrisy.
And speaking lies in hypocrisy, meaning while they're teaching you this lie, they're hypocrites because they do it themselves, man. While they're teaching you know, you can't eat meat this day, you're telling me some Catholic high priest, he wasn't eating no lamb. He was eating no meat. He did what he wanted to do, man. Why? Because they don't believe in God. They believe in themselves. Read on.
Having their conscience seared with a hot iron.
And their conscience is seared. Like, imagine this. You know, imagine this pen is a brand right here. And in your mind, I just sear it in. Meaning, once it's in someone's head, it's difficult to get it out, man. Once someone's been seduced that bad, it's in their head like it's been put in there with a hot iron, man. And you can't get it out. And with Paul, he was saying that to some of the people that left back then. So meaning he, you know what I mean, sat down with them. He went into the Bible with them and they're like, no, Paul, I don't believe you. What he said sounded so right. You know what I mean? What he said was so convincing. And his conscience was seared with a hot iron, man.
Right.
Read on.
God. Forbidden to marry.
And they forbid you to marry now. What does that mean? Because you know what I mean? Yes, the Catholic Church for some people says you can't have no wife. But what does it really mean? Because have in mind, when like this was written here, the Catholic Church didn't even exist. So what talking about, man? Someone saying you can't have more than one wife. You forbid them to marry, man.
Right.
You forbid them to have another wife. Like, no, you can only have one wife. Bishop says you can only have one wife. You know what I mean? And that's a doctrine of a devil, man. Anyone teaching you you can only have one wife. That's the doctrine of the devil right there, man. Anyone teaching you that, you know what I mean, God says you can only have one wife, that's the doctrine of a deceiver. Read on.
And commanded to abstain from meat.
What did the Bible say?
And commanding to abstain from meat.
And commanding to abstain from meats, man. Carnival. You know what I mean? They command you to abstain from meat, saying, on this day, you can't eat meat. On this day, you know what I mean? It's Lent. And you can't eat, the butter, the milk. Says who? It's not in the Bible. And that's a doctrine of a devil telling you, you must abstain from meats. The only day you don't eat meat, or matter of fact, you don't eat anything, is the Day of Atonement, man. And that's in the Bible. And you don't eat anything. But you know what I mean? For someone to say, on this day, you don't eat no meat, that's the doctrine of the white man, the devil, man. Read on.
Which God have created to be received.
And guess what? Those same meats, God made for you to receive them, meaning you to eat them, man. You to have them in that pot. You to, you know what I mean, make some nice oxtail soup with it, man. And they're telling you on that day, you can't, man. That's the doctrine of the devil right there, man. Read any more on that?
Got that.
All right, no sweat. Let's get 2 Maccabees 6:1.
Second Maccabees 6:1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the law of their fathers.
So now, for those of you that haven't read Maccabees before, you know what I mean, this is in time of the Greeks right here. And of course, you know, just like any time in life, there's always one Israelite that, you know, he hates the law of the Lord, wants us to join the heathens. So the Greeks, they sent this guy, forgot his name, we might find out as we read on, to, you know, get us to follow the ways of the heathens, to get us to follow the ways of the Greeks. So, you know, so he was told by the Greeks to come back to Jerusalem and to, you know, make us forget our heritage, our laws, our commandments. Read on.
And not to live after the laws of God.
And there, so he was trying to make us live like the Greeks and not live after the laws of God, man. And we're going to find out what happened, man. And we're going to find out that what you see going on in the carnival right now was happening back then, even in the time of the Greeks. Read on.
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter, Olympus, and that in God, the risen of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
Yeah, read on.
And it did desire that dwelt in the place.
There, so now with the Greeks, they desired that every Jew left their laws, and even in the temple that we had, they put their idols there, man, which is an abomination, man. Which to the Jews, that's like a heresy, like that's something that should never ever happen. Read on.
For the temple was filled with riot and reveling.
It was filled with what?
With riot and reveling.
So as soon as, you know, we started to follow the ways of the Greeks, the temple had reveling and rioting, man. So does anyone know what riot and reveling means? I mean, let's look it up in a dictionary of riot and reveling. And you're going to find out what you see in the carnival, it was happening even back then.
Reveling, to enjoy oneself in a lively and noisy way.
There, so now to revel is to enjoy yourself in a live and noisy way. So, you know, that's like your clubs, the carnival. It's like a mosh pit. It's like people that go to Glastonbury. You know what I mean? They enjoy themselves in a live and a noisy way. Lots of screaming, yelling. You know what I mean? Alcohol being thrown everywhere. You enjoy yourself in a live and a noisy way. Read on.
With drinking and dancing.
With drinking and dancing. So that's the reveling. What's the other one?
Right.
And rioting. So now we're going to get the definition of rioting.
Riot, a violent disturbance of the peace by a crowd, uproar, rampage, expressing large or varied display of something.
Okay, so now this is rioting. So it's people that, all upset, fighting they're acting in a very aggressive way. And what we're reading about in Maccabees, the rioting and the reveling, that's carnival right there, man. All of the rioting, even in carnival, how much people get locked up for having knives on them, man?
Right.
How much people get locked up for having a fight, man? Because that's all it breeds. And the Greeks taught Israelites that over 2,000 years ago, man. Once we left our laws in the temple, there was rioting, there was reveling, just like what you see in the carnival right now, man. People doing mosh pits and falling all over each other drunk, and people all aggressive to each other, all loud and all that. And the Greeks taught our ancestors this over 2,000 years ago. Read on.
By the Gentiles who dallied with harlots.
Who did what?
Dallied with harlots.
I mean, they messed around with whores, man. Is that the carnival? Is that not the carnival where all of you go there and mess around with whores? You're messing around. And I don't know why anyone would want to even do this here. That woman you see right there walking around basically naked, she has a man at home. She has kids at home, and she left them to go to Notting Hill to go and be a whore, man.
Right.
To go and wind upon you, to go and wind upon someone else. And you have a family at home. You got kids that you dumped off with your mother. Imagine if you're the mother and you dumped your kids off with your mother to go out there and be a whore, man. To go out there and wind upon some man that you don't know. To go in there and, drink yourself till you don't know what happened. To go out there wearing next to nothing, man. Showing parts of your body that only your husband should be seeing, man. And that's what happened even back then.
Right.
While this rioting and this reveling was going on, people dallied with harlots, meaning people played with whores, man.
Right.
Like at the carnival, like at Lee's carnival, where all of you drive so far to go and play with whores, man. To go and dance with whores that are meant to be looking after their kids, man. Meant to be at home looking after those sons and those daughters, and they left them with their auntie, left them with their grandmom to go and be a whore. You left the people that you love to go out there and play the whore, man. Dancing with some man that you don't know, making him buy you drinks to get you drunk, having sex with him behind some bush, man. And that's what happened back then. People dallied with harlots.
Right.
Read on.
And had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places.
So imagine that in our holy place, they're sleeping with prostitutes, man.
Right.
They're sleeping with whores like at the carnival, man. If you buy a woman a drink and she has sex with you, she is a prostitute, man.
Right.
That drink for £3, that was her price, man. You know what I mean? Some people want the money in hand, some of them want a drink, man. And that's all it is. Read on.
And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth.
Yeah, read on.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or the ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So
imagine that the Greeks wanted us to be like them so bad that us being the Israelites, we couldn't even profess ourselves to be a Jew. You said you're a Jew, they would take your life, man. You'll be put to death for even saying you're a Jew. They wanted us to be the Gentiles, man. Just like in Christianity today, man. They want you to be what? The Gentiles. And the Greeks were the same way. They wanted us to live like them, act like them, celebrate the carnival just like them. Read on.
And in the day of the king, his birthday, every month, which were brought by bitter constraint to eat the sacrifices, And when the feast of Bacchus was kept,
The feast of who?
the feast of Bacchus was kept.
So now keep that in mind. There was rioting, reveling, dallying with harlots. Then the feast of Bacchus. So we're gonna find out who Bacchus is, man. We're gonna find out what this Greek god Bacchus was, man. And you're gonna find out that's where Carnival is, man. If you are in the Carnival right now, you are worshiping a god called Bacchus, man. You got that for me? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. So now, for those of you that don't know, just a little bit of a history lesson. You mean, and you can find this anywhere. Nothing I'm making up. Anyone can tell you. With the Greeks, they learned off the Egyptians. So meaning the Egyptians taught the Greeks, and the Greeks taught the Romans, and that's why in some parts of the world it's called the Greco-Roman Empire, meaning some of the traditions and the things that the Romans did, they learned it off the Greeks. So we're gonna get into this / Greco-Roman god called Bacchus. Read on.
Bacchus had a few names. The Romans called him Bacchus. Bacchus was adopted from the Greek
Dionysus,
and shared mythological with the Roman god Liber.
So as I said before, the Romans learned from the Greeks, and the Greeks learned from the Egyptians. That's why a lot of Greek gods have a Egyptian origin: Thor and Horus and Seth, Zeus, Poseidon, and likewise the Romans took that same way of life from the Greeks, and that's researchable, easily accessible. Nothing I'm making up. Read on.
He was a god of more than just wine.
So now some people say, that with this god, so-called, he was just a god of wine, and that's a lie, man. He was more than just a god of wine. Read on.
Bacchus was primarily known as a god of agriculture and wine, but was also associated with fertility, drama, and revelry.
Drama and revelry, man. What's another word? Riotousness, rioting, and revelry. So what's that? So the Bible said the same thing in 2 Maccabees, and even history goes that this same God is known for revelry, where people are loud and drinking and doing all manner of things that they should not be doing. And this is what this god Bacchus was into. Any more than that? Pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that was a point. So it's found in the Bible that the Greeks they had an element of a carnival as well, man, where there was rioting, reveling, dallying with harlots, aka your aunties and your mothers. But you know what I mean? That's the problem, man. That what you see going on in the carnival is not an Israelite custom, man. It's not an Israelite way of life. The Greeks tried to teach us that 2,000 years ago, man. And under the Western Christianity, they had it under what they called pre-Lent. Anyone that? All right, no sweat. So now let's get James 4:4, man. Because if you claim you love the Lord, you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice and go, who are you siding with? Are you with the Lord or are you with the world, man? Are you with the white man in Carnival, man? Are you serving another God? And you need to make that choice. And we're going to get that in James 4:4.
James 4:4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses.
So now, why is James calling people adulterers and adulteresses? It's going to explain why as we read on.
Know ye not that the friendship of the world...
Of the what?
Of the world.
So make no mistake, if you're a friend of the world, to the Lord, you are an adulterer, man. If you're a friend of this world and you're a woman, you are a adulteress, man. And James is saying that if you love this world, you are committing adultery on the Lord, man. If you love Carnival, you are committing adultery against the Lord, man. If you're a woman and you love that feast too, you are an adulteress with the Lord, man. Read on.
God. The friendship of the world is enmity with God.
And that's it, man. The friendship of this world, of this society, this age, you are an enemy of God, man.
Right.
You are at war with God. And if you go to the carnival, you are at enmity with God, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? You went to the carnival, you are an enemy of the Lord, man. And we can't play that fine line. Yeah, but I went there, but you know, I didn't drink too much. You know what I mean? I just like the music. You went to the feast of another God, man. You go into the carnival, it's like you doing Ramadan. It's like you doing Diwali, man. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You went to a feast day of another God where it required whores, reveling, rioting, and you went there, meaning you served another God, man.
Right.
And the Bible says, if you love this world, you are at enmity with the Lord, man. You are an adulterer.
Right.
You went to the carnival, you are an adulteress, man. I don't care how you want to pull it, how you tried to make it seem. Yeah, but I love the music, man. And you know what I mean? The vibe was nice. Adulterer, adulteress, man. Read that one more time.
You adulterers and adulteresses, know you not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
And you're a friend of this world. You are enmity with God, meaning you are fighting with God, man. Why? Because this doesn't have the origins in the Bible, man. This ain't got nothing to do with the Lord. This ain't got nothing to do with the God of Israel.
Right.
This is a Greco-Roman feast day, man. And we read about it in Maccabees. Then even in the Wikipedia, in the 1200s, it was called pre-Lent, and it was never found in the Bible. And we read about the doctrines of deceivers, about they forbid you to eat meat, man. From there, give me 1 John 2 and 15, man. You got to make a choice. If you went to the carnival, you hate God, man. If you went to the carnival, you are at enmity with your God, man. Some of you watch online and you went there, you don't love the Lord, man. You think you do with words, but not by your actions.
1 John 2 and 15, love not the world.
What did the Bible say?
Love not the world.
And there, man, if you went to that carnival, you love the world, man. Why? Because if you did not like the world, you would see a carnival for what it is, man. You would see the carnival for what it really is. All it is just a cesspit full of whores and alcohol, man. But guess what? If you love the world, you see the carnival like it's something great. You see the carnival like, you know, we all come together, we drink, I get my wine on, or I get to wind down some girls. But you say that because you love the world. But if you love not the world, you would see the carnival for what it really is, man. Women leaving their kids at their auntie's house to go to a carnival and be a whore for one day, man. Sleeping with men. You mean winding down men and you don't even know them, man. And you think it's funny. That man should leave you, man. Read on.
God, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
And neither the things that are in the world, aka carnival, that's in the world.
Right.
And if you love God, you shouldn't love no carnival, man. No pre-Lent, Mardi Gras, whatever you want to call it. You should love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. You should see it for what it is, man. It's a horrible orgy, man. People got responsibilities, and you leave it to go and be a whore, man. You leave it. You know what I mean? And even as a man, because I'll give you both sides. You're a man with responsibilities, and you leave it to go and drink all day, man. To go and dance on women that have husbands already, man. And if you're a woman, you leave your man at home, leave your kids with your grandmom, which you should be looking after. And you want to know what's bad about that? Your grandmom, she already done her job, and then you're giving the kids to her. She should be resting, not looking after your kids while you leave to be some whore for someone else, man. And that's the problem. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Read on.
God, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
And if you love the carnival, the love of the Father ain't in you, man. You don't love God. Regardless of how you want to make it look, regardless of what you want to say, you don't love God, man. If you love God, you wouldn't set foot in Notting Hill Park, man. You wouldn't be in Leeds right now. You'll be logging into class right now, man. If you love God, but it's obvious you don't if you're not here. Read on.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
What did the Bible say?
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
And what's Carnival really all about? The lust of the flesh, man. Then women walking around wearing nothing, man. Wearing see-through garments and that. That's the lust of the flesh, man. If you're a man in the world, you're going there thinking what? Fleshly, man. You're going there like, raw, I'm gonna wind down this one here. I'm gonna get her number. And you know it's got nothing. You don't want to make her your wife, as in someone that you live with for the rest of your life. It's all fleshly, man. You're gonna sleep with her and never call her again. You got her number, but you ain't gonna ring her again. You get what you want. And women too, man. They're tired of the men. They go to the carnival knowing I'm gonna find someone who I like and I'm gonna have sex with him. And guess what? I'm gonna come back home and my man's never going to know, man. Even in Grenada, there's a term called what? Carnival babies, man. Meaning there's some babies that are born because of the carnival. People slept together and don't know who the father is. Why? Because they slept together at the carnival. And what did the Bible say? All that is in the world is the lust of the flesh. Read on.
God, and the lust of the eyes.
And the lust of the eyes, man. You go carnival, your eyes are wanting, like, look at her there, look at her there. And a woman, likewise as well. And all that is of the world, man. It's of this society, it's of this age. That's all what world means. Read on.
And the pride of life.
And the pride of life, meaning some people, they're proud of what they're doing. What does it mean by the pride of life? Meaning you're in the world and you're proud of it, man. You're in the world and you're like, well, I'm doing what everybody else does. You are proud about living in the world, and that's the problem. And the Lord hates it, man. That's something blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to understand. When we're in the, when we are in the world and we are proud, the Lord hates it, man. Read on.
Is it not of the Father?
And it's not of the Father. Carnival is not of the Father, man. This pride of life that people have where they're in the world and they think, well, what's wrong with it? I do it, and what? You know what I mean? It's not of the Father. Read on.
But it's of the world.
It's of the world. It's of the white man's world. It's of the Greeks' world, of the Roman world, of the Christian world. And that's it, man. It's got nothing to do with God. You know what I mean? People think carnival's some black thing. No, it's not, man. Its origins got nothing to do with black people, man. It comes from the Greeks and then the Romans, man, to their god called Bacchus. Any more on that?
No,
I no sweat. Give me Romans 13 and 13. Now, have in mind, this is written in the book of Romans. What is special about Rome? There was Israelites that lived in Rome, and they adapted the Greek way of life, man. They adapted Roman and Greek heritage, and you know what I mean? With and basically with what we're reading now is written to those same Israelites that lived in Rome. Read on.
Romans 13 and 13. Let us walk honestly.
So now hang on. Paul's letting them know, you know what I mean? If we serve the Lord, let us walk honestly. Meaning don't lie to yourself. Don't be in here and you're lying to yourself, knowing you're a sinner,
right,
knowing you're not living right. Paul saying, listen, now you know that Christ died for you to give you a second chance. You need to walk honestly. Walking, I am serving the Lord. I'm not eating pork. I'm not chasing down white women. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. If you really serve the Lord, then you must walk honestly. Read on.
As in the day, not rioting.
Not rioting. So not, in some Roman festival, which is what it's on about. Read on.
And drunkenness.
And drunkenness, aka carnival, rioting and drunkenness. Meaning in Rome, they always had these similar kind of feasts, like the carnival, where there was rioting, where there was drunkenness, where there was people dallying with harlots. Read on.
Not in chambering.
Not in what?
Chambering.
So now what we're going to do, we're going to look at the word chambering, and I've done it for you. I got it out of the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. The definition of the word chambering, and the word chambering, it says repeated or an habitual acts of illicit intercourse, meaning there was unlawful sex, man, illicit sex. And for those of you that don't know, before the white man conquered all of Rome, there was a native people there called the Etruscans, and the word dark skin, you can look him up online, and they were known to be involved in illicit sex. It's written by Roman historians that Etruscans, when it came to sex, they was free with it. Like someone could have sex with one of their wives, and the other man would just watch. And if you walk past it, it would look at you like, what, like you want some too? And that's how Etruscans lived, and the Romans adapted that, man. And that's why to the Israelites in Rome, he's saying, listen, man, let us walk honest, not in drunkenness, reveling, and chambering. Meaning, you can't be doing that illicit sex like the Romans do, man. AKA Carnival, your daggering squad. I know that stuff. You can't be doing that, man. If you serve the Lord, you got to walk honestly. You should have no contact with a woman that's not yours, man. You shouldn't be whining with some woman that's not your wife, man. No woman should be shaking her hips on you and she's not your wife, man. You don't know who she belongs to. And if you're in here, you better be walking honestly, man.
Right.
Read that again.
God, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting, not drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness.
Not in chamberiness and wantonness, meaning your desires. Wantonness is what your eyes see and you want it, man. And what's that? Carnival. All those attributes we are reading right here, that's carnival right there, man. Now, does it say carnival? No, it doesn't. But all those accolades that you see going on in the carnival is right there what is being written about. The wantonness, chambering, the wantonness, the reveling, and the drunkenness. And with Paul, he told the Israelites in Rome, listen, if you're in here, you got to be walking honest. You can't be doing that and lying to yourself, talking about how you are living honest. Any more on that?
No.
I know. So give me Ephesians 5:5.
Ephesians 5:5. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man who is an idolater have any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ.
And there you go, man. With Paul, he let them know in Ephesians. And again, you can research it. Ephesians was what? A Roman colony. And it's telling that no idolatry, no whoremonger. What was the other one? No unclean individual will get the kingdom of God, man. And if you go to the carnival, you are unclean, man. If you celebrate that feast of I.S.U.P.K, you are unclean. And you ain't getting the kingdom of God. Regardless of how you think, how you feel, you ain't getting that kingdom, man. You make yourself unclean when you go to that carnival, man. When you're serving another God, you make yourself unclean. And with Paul to the Israelites in Ephesus, he told them, man, you partake in things like that, you ain't getting the kingdom of God.
Right.
Read that one more time.
Now this ye know, no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man who is an idolater have any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God.
There, man. And that's key. So going to carnival is a big thing. Cause I know what some people think, yeah, but God ain't angry with me because of that. It's a dance. You know what I mean? I just went to a dance and I enjoyed myself. I had a drink, but you don't know the origins, and you don't know what angers God. You serve God according to opinion. You serve God according to what you think's right. But that's the problem. You gotta serve God according to what He wants. You gotta serve God according to what He finds is right and wrong. And that's the problem, man. You can't serve God according to how you feel, according to what you see, according to what you think. That's not how serving the Lord works, man. You serve the Lord by His standard that He has. And from there, give me Colossians 3 and 5.
Colossians 3 and 5. Mortify therefore your members.
Meaning, strengthen yourself, man. And again, why is he saying this? Because even in Colossians, that was another Roman colony as well, man. And what was going on there? Carnival, Bacchus feast, reveling, chambering. And it's saying mortify your members, meaning strengthen yourself, man. Why? Because as you live there, what's going to happen? You're going to see people going to those feasts.
Right.
You're going to see illicit. You're going to see things that you know that, you know what I mean, the Lord hates. So what do you have to do? Strengthen yourself. Just like in the UK right now, man, you got to strengthen yourself. You got to strengthen yourself to not go to that carnival. You got to strengthen yourself to not be dancing with another man's wife. You got to strengthen yourself to stay away from them whores, man. Let me read that again.
Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection.
In what?
Inordinate affection.
And what's the inordinate affection, man? An affection that you can't handle, you can't control. And at carnival, why do you think rapings happen, man? Because some people got inordinate affections. They saw one woman, they saw two. And that affection, it starts to grow so much that, like, listen, you're coming with me, man. You know what I mean? Even if you don't want to come, you are coming with me, man. And those things, you go into those events, ain't going to help you with serving the Lord, man. Right. Read that from the top one more time.
Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
And there, man. So, like in any verse in the Bible, it's telling them to stay away from these things, man. Meaning, what you see right now every year in the carnival, Israelites had to always fight this, man. Their affections, their lust, the Roman rioting, the Roman drunkenness, the chambering. You mean they had to fight all these things, and guess what? If you want to serve the Lord, you gotta fight it too, man. Right. You gotta fight it. You gotta go. Listen, carnival's coming. I'm not going, man. Right. You mean if I go there, I'm showing I hate the Lord, man. If I go to the carnival, I'm worshiping another God. If I go to the carnival, I'm weak. I'm weak. You know what I mean? All what's there is drunkenness, whores. You know what I mean? People selling drugs there because they sell that weed in the carnival too. You know what I mean? And I'm going to that event, man. I'm supporting it. When you're there, you are supporting it, man. It's not just you thinking about yourself and, you know what I mean, I just want to have a good time. You are supporting the worship of another God, man. You going to carnival is like you going to celebrate Diwali, where you're there, yes, you're eating, you're with the crowd, and that's for another God, man. That's for the Hindus' God, man. If you go to carnival, you might as well do Ramadan. You might as well, you know what I mean, do Kwanzaa. What's stopping you? Those things are for another God. And likewise, you go into the carnival, that is you also serving another God. Read on.
God. And for which things the sake of wrath of God cometh in thee of disobedience.
I'm sorry, read that one more time.
For which things the sake of wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience.
And because Israelites do those same things, that's why we get the wrath of God, man. Do you want to know why God's angry at you? Because you went to that carnival, man. Do you want to know why you'll find it hard to pay your rent? Or we? Do you want to know why we die as a race of people? Because we went to that carnival, man. Do you want to know why our young kids die in the streets? Because we went to that carnival, man. Do you want to know why we struggle to pay our rent? Because we went to that carnival, man. Do you want to know why, as a race of people, we find it so hard in everything we do? Because we won't put the carnival down, man. And that's why, because when we do these things, God brings wrath upon us. Why? Because we are disobedient. If you went to that carnival, you was disobedient, man.
Right.
If you were there drinking and whining upon another man's woman, you was disobedient, man. And that's why our lives are the way they are. Read on.
In which you also walk sometime.
And now those people that Paul writ to, they changed and saying you was like that at that time. So meaning the same way these men changed, so can we, man. The same way these men stopped the carnivals, stopped the revelings, stopped the drunkenness, stopped the chambering, so can we, man. You can resist it. Notting Hill Carnival can come next year and you're like, I'm not going there. I got a good wife at home, man. You know what? I'm gonna just spend some time with her, man. How about we go to, like, Brighton or some beach and we enjoy ourselves, man? How about we play the radio in the house and drink, man? You know what I mean? You don't have to go there. And believe me, when I was in the world, there was nothing there, man. And that's why, with the truth, you know what I mean? For every brother and sister that's in here, you gotta be thankful to be in here. Because I've been to Carnival and ain't nothing there, man. Even as I'm there, like, it's just it, like, you know what I mean? All I'm seeing is drunk people, women half naked, dancing on the grass. Like, what's that doing for me? And you know what I mean? It always in my mind, like, okay, it's meant to be fun, but what's fun about it? Like, it is what we have to do to have fun. And that's it, man. You know what I mean? If you're in the truth, you see it for what it is, man. It's called a sin day. That, you know what I mean? You can call it the carnival pre-Lent. That's a sin day, man. Just for you to be as evil and as wicked as you want to be. Reader.
In which you also walk sometimes.
In which you walk sometimes, meaning these are people that repented. These are people that don't do it no more. It's like a reader.
When he lived in them.
And that's what we lived in that at one point in time. The Israelites that lived in Colossia, they lived in it, man. They done Carnival and Bacchus feast and they came out of it. And that's what this Bible's all about, man. You changing. It's all about your life. Anyone teaching you the Bible's about fallen angels and Lucifer and all that, they've missed the point, man. You've missed the point. If you believe for you to believe in the Bible, you need to be entertained, then the Bible ain't for you, man.
Right.
The Bible's about you changing your life. And like any epistle you read in the Bible, it's all about you changing your life, man. And that's what it's all about. Don't let no one, you know what I mean, get in your head about fallen angels and all that stuff. All that stuff is to distract you, man. It's to take you away from the truth. It's to take you away from you changing your life, man. It's all about, do you read the Bible? You need to be entertained. The Bible needs to be like Hollywood for you to believe in it. And no, it's not, man. The Bible's about your lifestyle, you getting right. Read on.
But now you also put off all of these: anger, wrath, malice, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that you have put off the old man with the deeds. And
that's it, man. You put off the old man, meaning if you're in here, you can't go Carnival no more, man. You put off the old man. That old man, he went to Leeds Carnival. He went to Birmingham Carnival. He went to Notting Hill Carnival. But the new man, he doesn't go Carnival. The new man ain't stepping foot in no Carnival, man. Unless you ain't new. Unless you think you knew, but you're not, man. But the new man, he don't go to no Carnival. The new man ain't going to the feast day of some other god, man. The new man ain't celebrating no Greco-Roman god Bacchus. Read that.
And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge.
And it's like, yeah, and the new man is what?
Renewed in knowledge.
And that's a new man, man. Renewed in knowledge, meaning in the past, you had something you thought was wisdom, but it was not knowledge, man. And the new man, he's renewed in knowledge. I mean, he's got some new knowledge in his head, man. He knows I can't go carnival. The Bible says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." With this new knowledge, it disables me from going to any carnival, man. Read on.
Which is renewed in the knowledge after the image of him that created him.
All right, no sweat. That's in that. Is there any more on that? Was that pretty much the punchline? All right, no sweat. Let's get Mark 7:20. Mark 7:20.
Mark 7:20. And he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man.
So yeah.
And he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man.
Yeah,
For from within, out of the heart of men, proceedeth evil thoughts, adulteries, fornication, and murderers, theft, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy.
I got It's like I wanted the what's that word? Lasciviousness.
Correct.
Let's get the definition of that lasciviousness.
Lasciviousness, to describe a person's behavior that is driven by thoughts of sex.
What did the Bible say?
Behavior that is driven by thoughts of sex.
So there you go. So lasciviousness is someone's thoughts that are driven by sex. And how should I say? Those things defile a man. If lasciviousness is in you, you are making yourself unclean. You are defiling yourself. And that's what Carnival was all about, man. Lasciviousness, people that are driven by sex. Their whole goal while they're there is to have sex. You wine on the women hoping you would get the number and you would take them back to your hotel and have sex with them, man. The women that leave their men to go to the carnival, what's their real agenda? To have sex with another man. And that's what carnival is. Lasciviousness, people that are driven by sex. Read on.
An evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these things come from within and defile the man.
And guess what? Lasciviousness defiles a man. With Christ, he let them know that these things that come out of a man, they defile him. And lasciviousness was one of them, man. People that damn near worship sex, that defiles a man, meaning it makes a man unclean, man. From there, give me 1 Corinthians 6:18.
First Corinthians 6:18. Flee fornication.
What did the Bible say?
Flee fornication.
Meaning flee unlawful sex, man. And at the carnival, that's all you see is fornication, man. Unlawful sex. Women that have men at home and they leave to go carnival to have a one-night stand with someone else, man. And the Bible says flee fornication. If you're in here, you want to serve the Lord, then you got to flee that, man. You can't be in here and be at the carnival too, man. If you miss this class to go to a carnival, you don't serve our God, man.
Right.
You don't serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You serve yourself. Read that again.
Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body.
And any sin you do, you mean that's without the body? Read on.
But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body.
And then, man, if you commit an unlawful sexual act, you're hurting yourself, man. You sin against yourself. And why is that, man? You sleep with another man's wife. Do you know what he would do to you? Do you know how much men love their wives? And because of an event, you slept with another man's wife. Do you know what he would do to you? Hold on, give me, what's it? Proverbs 6 about. he that committeth adulteries without understanding.
Proverbs 6.
Let me find it. It might be 8 actually. Proverbs 8. It's like towards the end about. I'll find it. Yeah, Proverbs 6, 32 items.
Proverbs 6:32. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding.
And then, man, if you commit adultery with a woman, you lack of understanding, man. What understanding? The understanding of God, man. Because you wouldn't do it if you knew the laws of the Bible. You wouldn't let no woman wind upon you in some carnival if you had the understanding. That's another man's wife. You know what I mean? Whether she's with him or not, you know it's wrong and you should not do it. Read on.
He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
And you do that, you destroy your own soul, man. You hurt yourself. And why do you hurt yourself? It's going to explain why. Read on.
A wound and dishonor shall he get,
Uh-huh.
and his reproach shall be not wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man.
And that's it, man. Jealousy is a rage, man. Let me tell you something. At those carnival events, do you know how many men have got their head bust for dancing with another man's woman? You're there whining away and that, and you know, she didn't know, but he's at the carnival too. And he sees one other man, and he beats the life out of that man, hits him with the bottle, throws him on the, he throws him on the decks and all that. You know, people get hurt after the carnival for that, man. And you do that, you're dancing with another man's wife. Jealousy is a rage of a man. When you love a woman and she's flirting with someone else, you get pissed off, man. You got a wife and she's dancing with someone else in a very sexual way. You're going to be jealous, man. And what? You're going to be filled with rage. Read on.
Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
And he won't spare. He's not going to think, you know what, let me just beat him. Let me just hit him. He's going to kill you, man. What he's going to do to you, he's not going to spare. He's not going to let nothing go, man. He's going to do what he wants to you and spare not. Read on.
He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content.
Neither will he rest content. So you know what I mean? He's walking up to your vex after that. He saw you whining on his wife. You're like, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. He's not going to rest till he's content, man. Till he's done what he wants to do to you, for you dancing with his woman. Read on.
God, though he mayest giveth many gifts.
Though you may give him gifts, you might offer him a drink. You might, you know what I mean, try throw some money for him. He's not resting, man. Read on. That's it. All right, no sweat. Let's get back to where we was. Where was we at? 1 Corinthians 6:18, was it?
First Corinthians 6:18. Flee fornication. Every sin that man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body.
And you sinneth against yourself, man. That man's going to want you dead, man. Read on.
What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of the Most?
Imagine that, meaning inside of you, there's something that the world doesn't have. And do you know what you do as a man of God when you go to a carnival? You defile yourself, man. The Lord put something special in you, and you defile yourself when you go to the feast day of another God, man. What's inside you is holy, man. And you just, you know, defile yourself like you got something that the world wishes they had, man. Do you know in the UPK, you actually get answers, which in the world, no one gets answers. You've been in the Christian church 60 years. Your pastor can't give you one answer. your relationships upside down, your kids are locked up, your kids are in gangs, and the pastor's got no answer. You join the mosque, your imam's got no answers, man. Always tell you to do the singing and the surahs and all that, and it's got no answers for you. And you come in here, you get the spirit of the Lord, you get the answers, and you let yourself down by defiling yourself. You let yourself down by going to the carnival. You let yourself down by going to the feast day of another god, man. Read on.
God. And ye are not your own.
And you're not your own, man. You can't go to carnival. Why? Because you don't own yourself. God don't want you in no carnival. That's why you can't go. And you're not your own. You don't belong to yourself. You know, people say it's my body and I do what I want. That's a lie, man. God owns you, black man. God owns you, Hispanic man. God owns you, Native Indian man. Read on.
Ye are bought with a price.
And with Christ, he died for us, man. So that's why we got to live unto him. We got to do, you know what I mean? Whatever he commands us to do. From there, I had a pen on me, baby. From there, give me 1 Corinthians 6 and 13, just to finish that one up.
1 Corinthians 6:13. Meat for the belly, and the belly for meat. But God shall destroy both it and them. Now the body is not for fornication, but for the Lord.
And then, man, the body that we have is not for fornication. It's not for unlawful sex acts. It's not for, you to go to the carnival and be, winding down another man's wife. Your body is for the Lord, man. Read on. Or was it
for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. For God have both raised up the Lord, and will also raise up your own in power.
Oslaki. Yeah, that's it on that one. Verse. All right, let's get Galatians 5 and 17.
Galatians 5 and 17. For the flesh lusteth after the spirit. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit.
It's like you stop above about walk not in the spirit after the flesh.
Verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
So now with Paul again in Galatia, Israelites again living under Roman occupation, and he's telling them walk in the spirit and not after the flesh. So what's the flesh? What you want to do, man? The flesh is you wanting to go carnival and wind down another man's woman, man. That's the flesh, meaning that's what you want to do. With Paul is saying walk in the spirit. And what's the spirit? What God wants you to do, man.
Right.
What you mean? You live like that and not what you want to do. Going carnival, doing what you think's right. Read on.
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit.
And that's it. The flesh lusteth against the spirit. Or can make it easier for it to understand, meaning what you want to do goes against what God wants you to do, man.
Right.
And that's the problem. You know what I mean? So no one ain't saying it's going to be easy, but you know what I mean? That's how it goes, man. Well, you know what God wants you to do, but there's always going to be your flesh trying to make you do what you want to do. And guess what? You can't go carnival, man. Carnival is a work of the flesh, man. Carnival is you doing what you want to do, not what God wants you to do. Yes, many people go, many people, celebrate this and that. And listen, that's of the flesh and it's not of God. If you serve God, you can't do what you want to do. You're always going to fight, but guess what? Make the Lord win, man. Make the ways of the Lord win. And you're going to see that the Lord's going to be with you, black man. Read on.
And the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary one to another, so that you cannot do the things that ye would.
And they're that. So because they fight against each other, you won't do the things that you would. So what does that mean? Meaning, because you're in a fight, you won't do the things that you know you should do. Like the carnival, many people know they should not be there. Many people know they got responsibilities. They got kids to look after. You know what I mean? That same money they're using to buy on all those drinks, it should go on rent money. It should go on the electric bill. Should go on, you know what I mean, the gas bill. But you do things that you know you should do, but because you're so wrapped up in the flesh, because you're so wrapped up in what you want to do, you don't do what God wants you to do. Read on.
But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law.
But if you are led under the Spirit, you are not under the law, meaning if you do what God wants you to do, you won't get locked up. You won't be an adulterer, and someone's man would have to put you to death, man. You know what I mean? You won't, man. Why? Because you are led by the Most High. You do what's right. You do what's righteous. Read on.
But God, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness.
And there, man, those things are the work of the flesh. And it was so if you read the works of the flesh one more time.
Which are adultery,
carnival, reader.
Fornication,
carnival, reader.
Uncleanness,
carnival. Lasciviousness, meaning your strong desire for unlawful sex. Carnival, read on.
Idolatry,
carnival, you're serving another god. You are not serving the God of Israel if you're at the carnival, man. Read on. Witchcraft, and there, man. You know what I mean? Read on.
Hatred, variance, emulation,
and that's like carnival, man. Hatred. Do you know how many people fight at carnival because they hate each other? They see each other. And variance. What's variance, man? People that just love to debate and argue, man. People that just love to, argue. And at carnival, you see that, man. You tell someone, I'm sorry, you're in the way. You mind getting in the way? No, man. I was here first. I don't want to move. That's variance right there. And where do you find that? At carnival, man. And what's that? A work of the flesh. Things that you want to do. Read on.
Strife, seditions, heresies, envying, murders, drunkenness, reveling.
Envying at carnival. Why do women fight at carnival? Would anyone like to answer that? Why is it at carnival do women always fight, man? And it's the works of the flesh. It's what you want to do. All right, for time's sake, why do women fight at the carnival? Because they envy each other. One dances better than the other. Then you know me, like, okay, first the crowd's on one, she's dancing, doing whatever she does. Then another woman's like, I can dance better than that. She does it, and then what happens? Them two start fighting, man. They're fighting for the crowd, man, and they envy each other. One woman dances with a man that she likes. They start fighting. They envy each other, man. And all of that is the work of the flesh, man. All of that is what you want to do. And that's what carnival is full of, man. Carnival is full of the works of the flesh. Nothing of the Lord. Nothing of the Spirit of the Lord at all, man. Read on.
Reveling and such like.
And such like, meaning things that go along with it. So you know what I mean? So all of those things, you know what I mean? Anything that goes along with those things, that's the work of the flesh, man. And what you see in the carnival, whether it's Leeds, Notting Hill, all of that is the work of the flesh, man. Read on.
Of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past.
So meaning, he told them this before, man. So what he said to them, it was already said that, you know what I mean? Look at the works of the flesh, man. And you mean again, Galatia was a Roman colony at that time, and they had Carnival, Bacchus feast. They saying, look, man, those things are the works of the flesh. And I've told you before, man. And in 2019, we gotta tell you right now, man.
Right.
In 2019, we gotta remind you that all what you see going on in this world is the work of the flesh, man. The lasciviousness, the lust. You know what I mean? Read on.
That they which do such things should not inherit the kingdom of God.
And they which do such things ain't gonna inherit the kingdom of God. Meaning, if you go to the Carnival, you ain't getting the kingdom of God, man. You went to Notting Hill Carnival today and yesterday. You ain't getting the kingdom of God unless you change. You went to the one up in Leeds or wherever. You ain't getting the kingdom of God unless you change, man. Read on.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, godliness, faith.
I know, so that's going into, you know, the rest of it. Let's get First Corinthians. We got that ready. 1 Corinthians 6 and 18. Sounds about right, yeah. Now we will drop that one. Let's get First TITHES 4 and 2.
First Peter 4 and 2. That we no longer should live the rest of our time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of God.
There's now, you don't live your life after the lust of men. And what's that? The carnival, man. That's the lust of men. That's why the event is so big and so many people want to go, because they're all lustful. They all want one night stands. They all want they're all looking at these women like, you know, I want that, man. And that's what carnival is, man. It's a big event for the lust of the flesh. It's all about doing what you want to do. Like what we read in the Wikipedia, it was a feast where, you know, before you had your Lent where you restricted yourself, it was a day where you got to indulge and do what you wanted to do before Lent came. That's why some of them even called it pre-Lent, meaning before Lent comes, I get to have all the sex I want, all the food I want, all the alcohol I want, and then when Lent comes, I don't do it. And that's it, man. Just read that one more time.
That he no longer live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of God.
And then that's what you're meant to do. You're not meant to live after the lust of the flesh no more, but to the will of God, man. And how do you live your life according to the will of God? You keep his commandments. You do what he says, man. You keep his laws. And you know what I mean? You don't sin. You don't go to no carnival event. You live according to the Lord. And that's how you live unto the Lord. Let's read that one more time, Saki.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of God.
And there, man, that's all it is. It's the lust of men. With the carnival, it's got nothing to do with just fun times and all that. It's about people that can't control their lust, man. And how do you know? Imagine this. You drive so far just to drink and dance when you can do it here. Wherever you are, there's a club and you can drink and dance there. But your lust is that strong. You take a 3-hour drive, man. Go on the M40, then the M1, just to drink and dance and, you know what I mean, wind upon another man's woman, man. That's how lustful you are and you don't even know it, man. That's how lustful you are and you don't even realize it. From there, give me socket. Any more on that? No sweat. Give me 2 Corinthians 12 and 20.
Second Corinthians 12 and 20. For I fear lest when I come I shall find you such as would, and that I shall be found unto you such as would not.
Read on.
Lest there be debates, envy, strife, wrath, backbiting, whispering, swelling, tumults, unless when I come, my God will humble me among you, and that I shall bewail many which have sinned already.
There's now with Paul, you know, for those that don't know, in the gathering of Corinthians, that was they was really bad, rebelling a lot. So it's saying, listen, when I come unto you, I know what's going on. There's, rebelliousness, revelings. Why? Because again, in Corinthia, that was another Roman colony right there, man. And some left, some went back to that, some left. What's that one about the guy that left for the world? Emus. He left for the world. Let's get that one there. So there's many men of God. They left for the world of Rome, man. They left for the carnival. They left for what they thought the world had to offer them.
2 Timothy 4:10. The Demas has forsaken me.
So now, when you read in Acts and in some of the other epistles, there was a guy that was with Paul. His name was called Emus, and he was with him for a long time. And then now in this letter here, this guy left him. He forsaken him. To forsake means to leave. Read on.
Having loved the present world.
Having done what?
Love the present world.
Having to love the present world, meaning that society that the Romans had, the orgies, the lasciviousness. He got weak and left Paul, man. You know what I mean? He saw the carnival back then, like, look at them women, man. I could just wind down with one or two of them, it's not really a sin. And what happened, man? He ended up leaving the men of God to go and be in the world, man. Read on.
Correct. On to Thessalonica, Crescens to Galatia, and Titus to Dalmatia.
And imagine that all those men left him, man. And you know what I mean? All those men that the brother just read, all them left him because they got weak. They loved the world. They couldn't put the Roman feast down, man. They couldn't put carnival down. And likewise with Paul, he stayed strong, man. Regardless of who left him, he kept the faith. He didn't walk after the flesh. He did what the Lord wanted, man. And likewise with us, we have to do the same thing. You got to have a high standard up in here, knowing that if you serve God, you can't go to no carnival. If you serve God, you can't be you can't set foot up in there, man. The park ain't evil, but on that day, on that feast day, that's evil, man. You can go to that park the day after, the day before, but no, you go into that park on that day, that's evil, man. You go into the park is like doing Diwali, it's like celebrating Ramadan. You are celebrating another God, man. You know what I mean? Read on.
God, I have not repented.
I have not repented, meaning they didn't turn back. They wasn't in the world and go, you know what? I'm sinning, man. I'm doing what the Lord hates. I love this world. They left and did not want to return to the truth, man. You know what I mean? Not want to stop doing the evil that they was doing. Yeah, read on, Slucky.
Of the uncleanness and fornication and lasciviousness.
And what?
Lasciviousness.
And lasciviousness, meaning those bad sexual desires that they had, man. So, yes, they did leave for a carnival-like way of life, because the Romans, they was very open about their sexuality. And all those men that left Paul, they left him because of sexual deviancy, man. They left him for the carnival. They left him for swingers clubs. They left him for orgies, man. And likewise, when people set foot in the carnival, you're doing the same thing, man. You're leaving the laws of the Lord to go and leave just like how these men left. Read on.
Which they have committed.
Which they have committed, meaning they done it. They was involved in orgies and swingers. So with Paul, through the grapevine, he knew that they did it. Like, listen, he's in the world now, man. He was in some swingers club doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and they knew about it, man. From there, give me First Thessalonians 4:4.
First Thessalonians 4:4. That every one of you should know how to possess his vessel.
Oh, sorry, start from verse 1. Sorry.
Furthermore, then, we beseech you, brethren.
So saying, beg you, man. Meaning, what he's writing to the church of Thessalonica, he's begging them like, you know what I mean? He's begging them like, please, man, keep the faith. Don't go back in the world. Again, Thessalonica was a Roman colony as well. So those same feasts, they were being held there too. And he said, I beg you, brethren, man, don't, you know what I mean? Don't go back in the world. Don't take part of them same feasts. Read on.
And exhort you by the Lord Jesus, that as you have received of us, how you ought to walk and to please the Most High.
So imagine that he's saying, listen, you know what I mean? If you're in here, you were taught how to walk, meaning you know what you should be doing. You know how you should be living. And that's what it means by you ought to know how to walk in the Most High. And likewise in the UPK, if you're in here, you ought to know you should not go to any carnival, man. You should not go to no Mardi Gras, pre-Lent. And likewise, even back then, the men in Thessalonica, they knew that they couldn't be involved in no Roman Bacchus Day. They couldn't be involved in no Roman orgies, man. They knew how they should walk. Read on.
So you would abound more and more.
So, and that's key. And now I'll explain why. Many people go, in the truth, how do you stay here so long? You just live the right way. And that's what keeps you here. And with Paul, he just said it, that, you know what I mean? If you walk the right way, you may abound more and more. Meaning, if you keep the truth, if you live by the truth, you're going to walk in here more and more, man. And that's how you stay in the truth. You stay in the truth when you live it more and more. And how do we know it? With Paul, he just said it. He said, you ought to know how you would walk, and you shall abound more and more. So, you know what I mean? When someone leaves the truth after 1 year, do you want to know why they left? Because they wasn't walking in it, man. When someone leaves after 6 months, they wasn't walking in it as they should have been. Read that again.
Furthermore, then we beseech you, brethren, and exhort you, the Lord Yahushua, as you have received of us, how you ought to walk and please the Most High.
So they was taught how to walk and to please the Most High, man. They were instructed in how they should do it. Read on.
So you would abound more and more.
So you would abound more and more, meaning for you to stay in here, it's about your lifestyle. It's about how you live and what you're doing. And the more you serve the Lord, the longer you will stay in here. Read on.
For you know what commandments we gave you by the Lord Yahushua. For this is the will of the Most High, even your sanctification, that you should abstain from fornication. That we should do what? Abstain from fornication. AKA the carnival, man. Unlawful sex. Women that have men, leave that man in the house to go dress naked and go sleep with someone else, man. To go whine on someone else, man. That's unlawful, man. God ain't with that. And with Paul, he writ to them and go, listen, if you're in here, you gotta abstain from what? All fornication. Read on. That every one of you should know how to possess his vessel. And that's it, man. You gotta possess your vessel. You got to control yourself, man. That's what possess your vessel means. You got to know how to control yourself. You know what I mean? You can't go carnival and say you're a man of God. You can't go to the Roman feast of another god and say you're with the Lord, man. Research it. It's of the god Bacchus. You know what I mean? The Greeks done it and the Romans did it.
And it was a pagan feast, man, where you got to indulge in sexual immorality, got to drink till you had as much as you wanted. And then afterwards was Lent, where you had a fast and you thought you was holy and righteous. And that's what it was, man. And if you're a man of God, you can't go to Carnival, man. You can't, regardless of yeah, but it's music and local dance and all that. That's the celebration of another God. And what's one of the first commandments? Thou shalt have no other God before me. Read on.
That everyone should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor.
In sanctification, meaning you keep that vessel nice and clean, meaning your vessel, you keep yourself sanctified, man, clean, separate. And how do you do that? In Carnival, man, by not committing adultery, by not you whining with another man's wife, man. You sanctify yourself. And then what was the last part? And honor and respect, man. You respect yourself. And how do you do that? When you don't dance with another man's wife. You respect yourself, like, nah, I'm clean, man. I'm not dancing with you. You belong to him. How about you dance with him, man? And that's how you have honor, man. You have honor when you don't go to no carnival and celebrate the feast day of another God, man. That's honor. You got honor when you leave those pagan holidays alone, man. And that's honor. And the UPK, you get honor, man. You get honor in here when you serve the Lord and you keep the Passover and all the holy days, and you don't keep no pagan days, man. That's honor. That's respect, man. And you're gonna respect yourself, Shalom. You're gonna respect yourself when you're in here, man. And and in the UPK, we'll learn you, man. That's why we teach history class, where we show you the origin of the carnival, where we show you the origins of these pagan holidays, man. That's what history class is all about, man. Right. In here, you learn who you are and you learn what you can do and what you can't do, man. Why? Because the Lord disapproves of things that we do and it's wrong, man. Read on.
And honor now in the lust of concupiscence, even as the Gentiles which know not God.
And there now, and that's key. The Gentiles don't know God, man. So if you're celebrating Gentile feast days, why would you celebrate the feast days of a nation of people that know not God, man? The carnival comes from people that what? Know not God, man. Lent and pre-Lent and Mardi Gras come from people that know not God. Read on.
That no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter.
That's going into something else. We don't need to get into that. I've got any questions online? All right, no sweat. Give me Jeremiah 6 and 16.
Jeremiah 6 and 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, says the Lord, and they shall fish them.
And that's us, man, at the UPK. We fish, man. We fish online right now. We fish on Brixton High Street, Birmingham Town Centre. We fish with classes 3 times a day, man. And wherever we are, we fish, man. We fish and let you know that carnival's wrong. We fish and let you know that you can't serve the Lord and go carnival as well, man. Read on.
And after I will send forth many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain.
Yeah, so that's like it. Read that last bit again.
And they shall hunt them from every mountain.
And guess what? When fishing time is done, you know what I mean? There's coming hunters, man. And when them hunters come, you can't repent then. You can't change then. You know what I mean? From there, give me Jeremiah. It's like 6 and 16.
Jeremiah 6:16. Thus says the Lord, stand ye in the way and see, and ask for the old path.
And that's key, man. God says, like, God told Jeremiah, stand in the way and see, man. And look, man, look at me. Like, what is he saying? Just look around. Just stand in the way and see. See the carnival here, this religion here, mosque over there. And you know what I mean? He's saying to stand in the way and see, man. And you're gonna know all these paths ain't for black people, man. All that we do doesn't benefit us, man. What does carnival do for black people? Nothing, man. It's a day where you drink, act like a whore, and then what? You go back to reality the next day, man. You gotta go. You gotta go back to your aunt's house to collect your son that you just damn near dashed at her house to go be a whore for one day, man. And stand in the way and see. Read on.
Where is the good? So ask for the old path. Where is the good way?
And the old path is the good way, man. The path of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's the good way, man. The path of laws, statutes, and commandments, that's the good way, man. The path of no more carnival and us in order, that's the good way, man. And that's the problem. We've left it to go and join heathens. We've left it to go and be like the heathens. Give me that in Ezekiel 20 and about 34. About we will be as the heathen.
Ezekiel 20 and 32. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all.
So listen to what God's saying, man. God's talking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And he said, that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all. Meaning, in your mind, there's something you want to do. In your mind, there's something that you believe you should do and it's right. And God said, it's not going to happen. It's not going to be at all. Meaning, the God of heaven and earth, he's not going to make it happen. Read on.
That ye say?
That you say, meaning what's in your mind, that's what you're saying. It's not what God's saying. It's not thus saith the Lord. It's what you say. Read on.
We will be the heathen.
And that's us, man. We want to be as the heathen. When you're doing the carnival, you want to be as a heathen. How do you know this? Because the carnival is not even of a Caribbean origin, man. The carnival's got nothing to do with Jamaica. The carnival has got nothing to do with black people, man. The carnival's a Greco-Roman feast day, man, where they got to have orgies and illicit sex and drink and then do Lent. The carnival was even in the 1200s by Western Christians, man. And that's the problem. When we keep the carnival, we want to be as the heathen. Read on.
We will be as the heathen and as the families of the countries to serve wood and stone.
And that's us, man. We also follow their feast days, and also we want to be in their religion, man. And that's the problem. We're all up in their religions, man. All up in their religions, trying to be like them, trying to do their feast days, trying to take part in their so-called holy days. And God's saying, what is in your mind ain't going to be at all, man. I'm not allowing that to happen. Read on.
As I live, says the Lord God.
Meaning, as long as I live, you ain't doing what you want to do. And how do you know this happens? Anytime we do what we want to do, it fails, man. Anytime we want to live as the heathens, it fails, man. You know what I mean? We're in the church failing. We're in the mosque failing. We're in Egyptology failing. We're doing the pagan holidays, the carnival, and we're failing, man. You're in the carnival knowing after carnival, our lives are hell, man. After that day where you got to be an adulterer and an adulteress, you got to drink and, you know what I mean, wine upon someone you didn't even know. You go back to a life that's failing, man. Why? Because God says, as long as I live, you ain't doing it. As long as I live, you ain't going to live like the heathens. And that's why we fail at it all the time. Read on.
God. Surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you.
And listen to what God said, man. With a stretched out arm and with fury will I rule over you. God's saying, listen, I'm ruling over you, whether you like it or not, man. I'm going to rule over you forcefully. You know what I mean? It's not no debate. Ain't no back and forth. I'm ruling over you, whether you like it or not, man.
Right.
Why? Because you're my people and you ain't living as the heathens. You ain't doing no more carnivals. You ain't doing no more pre-Lent. You ain't doing no more Mardi Gras. And I'm ruling over you, whether you like it or not, man. Read on.
And I will bring you out from the land. I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm.
And that's what God's doing in these last days, man. He's waking us up. And one day we are coming home, man. We're coming home to the real true land of blacks and Hispanics. And it's not Jamaica.
Right.
It's not South America.
Right.
It's not Mexico. It's not North America. It's Israel, man. The land of Palestine, so-called. With that, I'm hand it over to priest and officer of 5,000, Karafia.
Powerful class for the brother Hannah. And the I.S.U.P.K security announcements with the I.S.U.P.K started at 1 West, 125th Hall, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Rules for a new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will call each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister must get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10 to the Hebrew Ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or the teacher. Priest fund, not mandatory, but for the amount we like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, feast of trumpets. All agriculture, the bulletin board, the hallway, and check all I.S.U.P.K social media. If anyone wants to be a truthful in the school, start wearing all black, blue shirt, pants, headband, and hairstyle. With that, I imagine, right to the east. The Lord's Prayer, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Badash, Hayah, Shamkar, Yahweh, the lack of God, Taba'ah, Batazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazar, Kabor, Hayah, Bashemayim, the Thundernawa, the Cow, the Wam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafinawa, Wala'ah, Tabaya'inawa, Banasaya Abor, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Right, Kaya, Lakab, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahapara, I will love you, Amen. And in the English, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. In the prayer for the power of God, Yahweh, Ba'ashemi Hawashai, Babu Kushar, the Thundernawa, Hakah, Larapa'ah, Kal Makala, Kal Malawak, Hakah, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Lahaqiyah, Hamathium, Hakah, Arukawak, Atama'ala, the Garashun, Ba'ashemi Hawashai, the water Aman, and in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the Please give us the power
to heal
all
all manner of sickness
manner of sickness
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the
the
lepers,
power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the
the
dead,
power against unclean spirits,
the power against unclean
to
spirits,
cast them out.
to cast them
In
out.
the name of Yahawashi,
In the name of Yahawashi,
thank you,
thank you.
so be it.
So be it. The blessings, Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahawashi,
Wa Yahawashi,
Wa Mayaka'ala,
Wa Mayaka'ala,
Wa Alahayim,
Wa Alahayim,
Mataz Abiyah,
Mataz Zabiyah,
Ala Wap Yahanna,
Ala Yahanna,
Ha Ala Wapyum,
Ha Ala
Ha Suranyam,
Ha Saranyam,
Ha Kwatazayanyam,
Ha Kwatazayanyam,
Ha Kaliyayam,
Ha Kaliya Aliyam,
Ha Wapyum,
Wa Akwapyam,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Wa Hashem Yahawashi,
Wa Hashem Yahawashi,
Wa Ala Aman.
Wada Arman, and in the English, bless you Yahweh,
Bless you Yahweh,
and Yahawashi,
and Yahawashi,
and Michael,
and
the angel,
the angels,
commanding General Yahanna,
commanding General Yahanna,
the generals,
the general,
the captains,
the captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the uppers,
the troopers,
and the sisters,
and the sisters,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahawashi,
in the name of Yahawashi, thank you.
so be it.
So be it.
The curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and
and
earth,
all things living,
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahawashi.
in the name of Yahawashi,
Listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishments and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against us.
that speak against us.
Thy prophets,
Thy prophets,
the teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite
the
brothers,
Israelite brothers,
and the school,
and the schools,
send evils
the evil
and curses
and curses
and punishments
and punishment
and destruction
and destruction
to the heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose
and shake loose
the treasures
the treasures
of the rich of Israel
of the rich of
that
Israel
refuse to give to the school,
that refuse to give to the school,
force their riches
force their riches
to enter into thy sanctuary,
to enter into thy
send
sanctuary,
evils
to evil
and curses
and curses
and punishment
and punishment
and destruction
and destruction
to the Edomites
to the Edomites
and the nations
and the nations
and the drug dealers,
and the drug
the
dealers,
court system,
the court system,
the prison system,
the prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
or the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope, Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Posse Comitazi,
Pastor
the gay movement,
the gay movement,
the lesbian movement,
the lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space programs,
national space program,
Army,
army,
Navy,
navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
open up the internet
and the airwaves,
and the
the
airways,
cable access channels,
the cable access channel
and the radio channels.
and the radio channel.
Convict the spirit
Convict the spirit
of any of thy people
of any of thy people
that seek to stop us
that seek to stop us
and bring swift destruction
and bring some destruction
to all the heathen
to all the heathen
that stand in the way
that stand in the way
or try to stop us
or try to stop us
from broadcasting your words
from broadcasting your words
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues,
Let loose all the plagues,
cause them to go to and fro
cause us to go to and fro
through the earth and consume them.
through the earth and consume them.
Let the plagues
Let the plagues
shake the house of the thief
shake the house of the thief
and the murderer.
and the murderer.
Let Yahweh shine.
Let Yahweh shine.
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel
come down with the flying horses
come down with the flying saucers
and punish all the heathen
and punish all the
that
heathen
come up against us
that come up against
as we
us
speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all
Cause it to be known by all.
that is the angels that have done it.
That is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread
Cause it to be spread
through the media
through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake
Cause it to shake
at thy coming.
at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. I'm going to bless Israel Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Barak Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh.
Wa Yasha'ala.
Wa Yasha'ala.
Wa Habayah.
Wa Habayah.
Sapayim.
Sapayim.
Barak Rapah.
Barak Rapah.
Magan Hagan.
Look good. Officer Agawa.
Officer Mabawar.
Gordon family.
Golden family.
Bennett family.
Bennett family.
George family.
George family.
That's it.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Wa
The water Aman.
What would have said was, Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless your shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Jesus, thank you. And so be it. With that, only one question to teacher.
Men of Israel. I'm Malim Shabbat. I'm Malim. Barak. Yahweh Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yah Shabbatah. Class dismissed.
Yeah, winter's coming back now.